Welcome back to my Auntie Rose Narrates channel, where I share touching real-life stories every single day. If you love stories that move your heart, hit subscribe and give this video a like. Let's jump right into today's story. I did not tell my son I was coming. I did not pack much either. Just a small suitcase, my old coat, and the keys that still felt heavy in my hand. I told myself it was only for a few days. A mother's visit. Nothing more, but deep inside, something felt wrong. I had called Daniel 3 times that week. Each time, the phone rang until it stopped. No message. No return call. That was not like him, or maybe it had become like him and I was the last one to notice. I booked the flight early in the morning. The sky outside my window was gray, the kind of gray that makes you move slower. I remember sitting on the plane, hands folded, watching the clouds pass. I kept thinking of Emily. Emily had always been quiet, kind, the kind of woman who smiles even when she is tired. When Daniel married her, I felt relief. I thought, he will be okay now. Someone will look after him. I never asked who would look after her. When I landed, I took a cab straight from the airport. I did not go to their house first. I don't know why. My heart told me to go somewhere else, a hospital. The building smelled like cleaning liquid and old air. The lights were too bright. The floor shined in a way that made everything feel cold. I stood at the front desk, my purse held tight against my chest. "I'm looking for Emily Collins," I said. My voice sounded steady, but my hands were shaking. The nurse typed something into the computer. Her face changed just a little. "She's in the ICU," she said gently. The world went quiet. I followed signs down long white halls. Each step felt heavy. I kept telling myself to breathe. In, out, slow, calm. Outside the ICU room, I stopped. Emily lay in the bed, surrounded by machines, tubes, soft beeping sounds. Her skin looked pale, almost clear. Her hair was pulled back in a loose tie, the way she always wore it at home. She was alone. No Daniel. No family. No hand holding hers. I stepped closer. I took her hand. It was warm, but weak. I leaned down and whispered her name. "Emily, it's Margaret." "I'm here." Her eyes did not open. A doctor came in quietly. He introduced himself as Dr. Harris. His voice was calm. "Practice. She's been here for 2 days," he said. 2 days. I swallowed hard. "My son, Daniel, has he been here?" The doctor looked at his chart, then at me. "No," he said softly. "We haven't seen him." I felt something break inside me, but no tears came. "Not yet. What happened?" I asked. He explained the illness. How she had waited too long. How stress did not help. How support mattered more than people realized. I nodded. I listened. I said thank you. Then I sat down beside her bed. I watched the machines rise and fall. I watched her chest move slowly. I thought of the first time I met her. How she offered to wash dishes in my home. How she called me mom before she was ever a wife. Reached into my purse and pulled out my phone. I called Daniel. It rang. He did not answer. I looked at the time. Late afternoon. Then, by accident, I saw something. A photo. Someone had tagged Daniel online. I don't even remember opening the app. But there it was. Daniel, laughing, driving the car I bought him. Girls in the back seat. Music loud. Sunlight everywhere. While his wife lay here. Alone. I did not cry. I did not scream. I did not call him again. I simply locked my phone. I kissed Emily's forehead, and I sat there, quietly until night came. That night, I did not leave the hospital. I sat in the chair beside Emily's bed, listening to the quiet sounds of the machines. The room felt too big for just the two of us. I held her hand and spoke softly, even though I did not know if she could hear me. I told her I was there now. I told her she was not alone anymore, Every few hours, a nurse would come in. She would check the monitors, adjust a tube, and smile kindly at me. No one asked where my son was. No one needed to. Sometime after midnight, my phone buzzed. A message from Daniel.Mom, I'm busy. I'll call you tomorrow. That was all. No question, no concern. No mention of his wife. I stared at the screen for a long time before placing the phone back into my purse. I did not reply. For the first time in my life, I did not rush to smooth things over for him. In the early morning, I went to their house. I needed clothes. I needed a shower. I needed to see the place where Emily had been living while slowly disappearing. The house looked fine from the outside. Clean yard, closed windows. Nothing broken. Nothing loud. Inside, it felt empty. The kitchen counter was cluttered with unopened mail. Medical bills, appointment reminders. I picked one up and read the date. 3 weeks ago, I sat at the small kitchen table and felt a deep, quiet ache in my chest. Emily had been sick for weeks, and she had carried it alone. I opened the fridge. Barely anything inside. A carton of milk past its date. Some leftovers, neatly packed. Her handwriting was on every label. I could see her in my mind, standing there, cooking, cleaning, waiting for Daniel to come home. In the bedroom, her clothes were folded carefully on one side of the closet. On the other side, Daniel's things were scattered. Shoes on the floor, drawers half open. On the nightstand, I found her phone charger, plugged in. No phone. I sat on the edge of the bed and closed my eyes. I remembered the last time I visited them, months ago. How Emily looked tired. How Daniel talked over her. How she smiled and said, I'm just a little run down. I believed her, or maybe I wanted to. When Daniel finally came home that afternoon, I was back at the hospital. He walked into the ICU room like someone entering the wrong building. His face looked confused, not worried. Mom, he said. What are you doing here? I stood up slowly. Where have you been? I asked calmly. He shrugged. Out, work stuff, friends. I looked at him. Really looked at him. Your wife has been here for 2 days, I said. She almost died. He shifted his weight. Looked at the floor. She didn't tell me it was that bad. He said. The words hung in the air. She tried. I replied softly. You weren't listening. He sighed like someone tired of being corrected. I didn't know, okay? He said. You're making it sound worse than it is. I felt something change inside me at that moment. Not anger. Just clarity. I stepped aside so he could see Emily properly. He stood there for less than a minute. I'll come back later, he said. I've got stuff to handle. And then he left. I sat back down. A nurse came in and gently placed a blanket around my shoulders. She did not say anything. She did not need to. Over the next day, I learned more things, small things, quiet things. Emily had come to the hospital once before. She left early because Daniel said he was busy and could not drive her home. Emily had missed work because she was weak. Daniel told people she was being dramatic. Emily had asked the nurse not to call her husband too many times. She did not want to bother him. That hurt more than anything else. That evening, I finally went home and slept in the guest room. Her room, I could still smell her soap on the sheets. I cried then, silently, into the pillow, not just for Emily, for my son, for the man he had become. The next morning, I went back to the hospital early. Emily's condition had not changed much. Still fragile, still quiet. I held her hand again. I'm sorry, I whispered. I should have seen this sooner. As I sat there, I made a decision. I did not tell anyone. I did not announce it, but something inside me settled. I would stop protecting my son from the consequences of his choices. For the first time, I would protect the woman who had no one else. And I would do it quietly. On the third morning, I woke before the sun. The house was still. too still. I sat at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee that I did not drink. My hands rested around the mug, but I felt nothing from the warmth. I had barely slept. Images kept returning to me. Emily lying alone in the hospital bed, Daniel laughing in that car, the same car I had worked extra years to buy for him, the same car I had given him when his life was just beginning. I had believed I was helping him. Now I understood I had only made things easier for him. I drove to the hospital just after 6. The roads were empty. The sky was pale blue, like it had not decided yet what kind of day it wanted to be. Emily was still unconscious when I arrived. Dr. Harris met me in the hallway. His face was serious but gentle. "She's stable," he said, "but she's very weak. We need to prepare for all possibilities." I nodded. I had already been preparing my heart. I went back into the room and sat beside her. I brushed a strand of hair away from her forehead. "You're not alone," I whispered again. "I promise." A nurse stepped in and handed me an envelope. "These were in her purse," she said. "We thought you might want them." Inside were folded papers, medical forms, insurance notes, and one small letter. My name was written on it. Margaret. My breath caught as I opened it. The handwriting was neat but shaky. She wrote about being tired, about feeling invisible, about loving Daniel even when it hurt, about not wanting to make trouble, and at the end she wrote, "If something happens to me, please make sure he can't hurt anyone else the way he hurt me." I folded the letter carefully and placed it back in the envelope. That was when my phone buzzed. Another photo. Daniel again. Same car, same smile. This time parked near a bar. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I opened my contacts. I scrolled, and I stopped. The police station. My finger hovered over the number. I thought of all the times I had covered for him, all the times I had explained his behavior to others, all the times I told myself he would grow up. I stood up and walked into the hallway. It was quiet. Just the sound of distant footsteps and machines. I pressed call. A calm voice answered. "City Police Department. My name is Margaret Collins," I said slowly. "I need to report a stolen vehicle." They asked for the details. I gave them everything. The make, the model, the license plate. I did not raise my voice. I did not cry. I simply told the truth. "That car belongs to me," I said. "I never gave permission for it to be used." They thanked me and said they would handle it. I ended the call and stood there for a moment, holding my phone in both hands. Then I went back into Emily's room. I sat down. I took her hand. "I did something today," I told her softly. "Something I should have done a long time ago." That afternoon, Daniel came to the hospital again. He looked nervous. "Mom," he said quickly, "have you seen my car?" I met his eyes. "No," I said calmly. "It's gone," he said. "I parked it outside my friend's place. I think it got towed." I nodded. "Maybe," I said. He sighed and rubbed his face. "This is not a good time for this," he said. "I have enough stress." I looked at Emily, then back at him. "You don't know what stress is," I replied quietly. He scoffed. "You're taking her side now?" He asked. I did not answer. An hour later, the police came. 2 officers, calm, professional. They asked Daniel to step outside. He looked at me, confused, then annoyed. "Mom?" He said, "What's going on?" I remained seated. I held Emily's hand. Through the glass wall, I watched them speak to him, watched his face change, watched him laugh at first, then stop. Then I watched them place handcuffs on his wrists. He turned and looked at me. Our eyes met. Did not move. I did not wave. I did not speak. 2 days later, he was released. That evening, there was a knock on the door. I opened it slowly. Daniel stood there. He looked smaller than I remembered. His eyes were red. His shoulders hunched. He dropped to his knees. I'm sorry, he said. Please, help me. I looked down at him. I felt sadness, but no regret, because what he did not know yet was that everything had already changed. I did not invite Daniel inside that night. He stayed on his knees for a long moment, waiting for me to say something. The porch light flickered softly above us. I could hear a car passing far down the street. Get up. I said gently. He stood, wiping his face with the back of his hand. I made a mistake, he said. I know I did. I just need time to fix it. I nodded slowly. Some things cannot be fixed with time, I replied. He looked past me toward the hallway. Where's Emily? He asked. Is she home? No, I said. She's still in the hospital? He swallowed. I want to see her. You should have wanted that sooner, I said, without anger. I stepped back and closed the door. Not hard, just enough. That night, I slept better than I had in days. The next morning, I went to the hospital early again. The nurses greeted me like family now. Emily's condition had changed slightly. Still fragile, but there were signs. Small signs. Her fingers moved when I spoke. I leaned close. I'm here, I said, and I'm not going anywhere. Later that day, a lawyer came to see me. His name was Thomas Reed. Calm voice, gray hair, kind eyes. Emily had asked for him before she lost consciousness. He laid the papers out on the small table in the family room. She was very clear, he said. She wanted you to understand everything. There were documents, medical decisions, property papers, bank accounts. And a will. Emily had signed it weeks ago. I felt my breath catch. She left everything to you? I asked quietly. He shook his head. No, she left everything to herself. And to charity. And some to you. What about Daniel? I asked. Thomas looked at me carefully. He is not included. I closed my eyes, not out of shock, out of understanding. She was protecting herself. I whispered. He nodded. There is one more thing, he said, sliding another document toward me. It was a power of attorney. Medical and financial. Signed, witnessed, legal. You? I asked. She trusted you, he said simply. That evening, Daniel came to the hospital. Security stopped him at the desk. She doesn't want to see him, the nurse said kindly. He turned to me. Mom, he pleaded. Tell them. I stood beside him. She made her choice, I said. You need to respect it. His face tightened. You're doing this to punish me, he said. No, I replied. This is not about you. He stared at me like he was seeing a stranger. Days passed. Emily slowly began to wake. Her eyes opened. One morning while I was reading to her, she looked at me, confused at first. Then she smiled faintly. You came. She whispered. Double quotes. Yes, I said, my voice breaking for the first time. I'm here. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I was so tired, she said. I know, I replied. She squeezed my hand weakly. Thank you for believing me, she whispered. Later that week, Daniel tried again. This time, he came with anger instead of tears. You took everything from me, he said outside the hospital. My car, my money, my wife. I looked at him calmly. No, I said. You gave them away. He had no answer for that. When Emily was strong enough, I told her the truth about the call, about the papers, about Daniel. She listened quietly. Then she said something I will never forget. I didn't want revenge, she said softly. I just wanted peace. You have it now, I told her. And for the first time since I arrived, I believed it. Emily stayed in the hospital for 3 more weeks. Each day felt slower than the one before it. Time did not rush anymore. It moved gently, like it knew it needed to be careful with her. I stayed close. I learned the sound of her breathing when she slept. I learned which nurse brought her tea just the way she liked it. I learned how to sit quietly without feeling the need to fill the silence. Sometimes we talked, sometimes we did not, and sometimes that silence said more than words ever could. When Emily was finally moved out of the ICU and into a regular room, the sunlight reached her bed for the first time. It fell across her face in the afternoon, soft and warm. She noticed it too. I forgot what that felt like, she said quietly. I pulled the chair closer to her bed. You don't have to forget again, I replied. She smiled. Small but real. The doctors said recovery would take time. Months, maybe longer. Her body had been tired for a long time. Not just from illness, but from carrying too much alone. I understood that feeling well. Daniel did not come back. Not after the papers. Not after the police. Not after the truth settled in at first. I wondered if I should feel sad about that, then I realized something. He had already left long before this. He had left when he stopped listening. He had left when he chose comfort over care. He had left when he forgot what love required. One afternoon, Emily asked me something unexpected. Can I come with you? She said. I looked at her. Where? When I'm discharged, she said slowly. I don't want to go back to that house. I nodded. You don't have to. So when the day came, I brought her home with me. Not to the place she had been hurt, but to the place where she could rest. My house was quiet. It always had been. But now it felt different. Lighter. Emily moved slowly at first. She slept often, ate small meals, sat by the window with a blanket and watched the world go by. Some mornings, I would find her standing in the kitchen, holding a cup of tea, just breathing. I didn't know homes could feel like this, she said once. I smiled. That's because you were never supposed to earn safety, I told her. It's supposed to be given. She cried that day. Not loudly, just quietly, like a release. Weeks passed. Then months. Emily grew stronger. Not just in her body, but in her voice. She started making choices again. Small ones at first. What to eat, what to read, when to rest. Then bigger ones. She returned to work part-time. She went to therapy. She learned how to say no without apologizing, and I watched her become herself again. As for Daniel, we spoke only once more. A letter arrived one morning. No return address. Inside, there were only a few lines. I didn't know I was hurting her. I didn't know I was losing everything. I hope one day you forgive me. I folded the letter carefully and placed it in a drawer. Forgiveness is not the same as access, I wished him. Well, but I did not invite him back into the center of my life. Some lessons are not meant to be softened. Emily eventually filed for divorce. It was quiet, clean, no fights. Daniel did not contest it. When the papers were signed, Emily held them in her hands for a long time. I feel strange, she said. Not happy, just free. That's enough, I told her. One evening, months later, we sat at the dinner table together. The windows were open. The air smelled like rain. We ate slowly, talked about small things. Nothing heavy. At one point, Emily reached across the table and took my hand. You didn't have to do any of this, she said. You could have looked away. I couldn't, I replied. Not anymore. She nodded. I think some people are placed in our lives not to stay, she said thoughtfully, but to teach us who we should never become. I looked at her and felt something close to peace. As the year turned, my life settled into a new rhythm. Mornings with coffee, afternoons with books, evenings with quiet conversations. Emily moved into her own place eventually. Not far, just close enough. She visited often, she laughed more now. Real laughter, the kind that surprises you. One day, she told me she wanted to volunteer at the hospital. I don't want anyone to feel as alone as I did, she said. I hugged her. That's how healing becomes purpose, I replied. On my birthday that year, Emily baked me a cake. It was uneven, slightly burned. We laughed about it, as we sat together, candles glowing. I realized something important. Family is not defined by blood alone. It is defined by who stays, by who shows up quietly, by who chooses care even when it costs them something. Once thought being a good mother meant protecting my child at all costs. Now I know better. Being a good mother sometimes means stepping aside and letting truth do its work. It means choosing what is right over what is familiar. It means loving without enabling. And sometimes it means becoming the mother someone else never had. On a quiet evening, Emily and I sat on the porch, watching the sky change colors. I used to think love meant enduring pain, she said softly. And now? I asked. Now I think love means not being afraid to leave it. I smiled. That's wisdom, I said. As for me, I no longer carry guilt. I carry clarity. I did not ruin my son's life. He chose his path. I simply stopped walking it for him. What I gained instead was something far more lasting. Peace, truth, and a bond built not on obligation, but on trust. If there is one thing I've learned, it is this: silence can be cruel when it hides pain, but silence can also be powerful when it protects dignity. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is make a quiet decision and stand by it, even when it breaks your heart a little, especially then. Moral of the story: love does not mean losing yourself. Family does not mean accepting harm. And doing the right thing does not always look kind in the moment, but it always leads to peace.